Expose evil here. Like, share, subscribe. Today we're going to expose Hiram Abiff. Now it says Hiram Abiff, also Hiram Abiff with one F, or the widow's son, is the central character of an allegory presented to all candidates during the third degree in Freemasonry. Now keep in mind about the widow's son as a nickname for him. We see in Manly P. Hall's The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, page 109, in Egypt, the mysteries or institutions of philosophic rebirth were called Isis, and those born out of the temple were designated the sons of Isis. Now, through the death of Osiris, her husband, this goddess had donned the badges of mourning, and through the loss of the word, symbolized by the phallus of Osiris, his male genitalia, had become the great widow. Hence, those born out of her, the philosophic elect, were termed the widow's son, a designation which has clung to Freemasons even in this age. So here we see Osiris, or Hiram Abiff, is no more than Osiris, or his son Horus. Right? Now, keep in mind, Isis mourning the loss of Osiris. Okay? Now we see here in Ezekiel 8:11, before them stood 70 elders of the house of Israel, with Jezaniah, son of Shaphan, standing among them. Each had a censer in his hand, and a fragrant cloud of incense was rising. Let me say something before I read 12. Incense is satanic. It's used by witches, it's used in witchcraft, it's used in the mystery religions. Witchcraft is just a mystery religion. This is Nimrodic Satanism, just like spiritual oils, okay? It's used for spells. If you know about Aleister Crowley, I believe it's in Magic and Theory and Practice. He talks, right before he talks about sacrificing a young boy as being the best sacrifice, he says that you can use incense and replace blood. But he says blood rituals are the best. So let me say, he says, "Son of man," he said to me, "do you see what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in the darkness, each at the shrine of his own idol? For they are saying, the Lord does not see us, the Lord has forsaken the land." Again he told me, "You will see them committing even greater abominations." Then he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and I saw women sitting there, weeping for Tammuz. Now we see here in the Bible dictionaries for Ezekiel 8:14, it says here, let me just go down to the ATS Bible Dictionary right here. ATS Bible Dictionary. Tammuz. They were weeping for Tammuz, remember? Or mourning like Osiris, or mourning like Isis or Osiris. The Syrian idol mentioned in Ezekiel 8:14, where the women are represented as weeping for it. It is generally supposed that Tammuz was the same deity as Phoenician Adonis, which is true, and perhaps the Egyptian Osiris. So you see right there, Ezekiel 8:14 is exposing the weeping of Tammuz, which is the son of Nimrod. And if you don't believe that, I can show you the Masonic literature. In the Master Mason, authorized by the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of Indiana, page 9 and 10, the idea that lies behind the Hermetic legend is as old as religious thinking among men. Hermetic is obviously Hiram Abiff. The same elements existed in the story of Osiris, which we already linked Hiram to Osiris, which was celebrated by the Egyptians in their ancient temples. The old Persians told it concerning Mithras, their hero god. In Syria, the Dionysian mysteries had the very same elements in the story of Dionysus. For the Romans, Bacchus was the god who died and lived again. There's also the story of Tammuz, older than any of these. These are collectively referred to as the ancient mysteries. They were celebrated by secret societies, much like ours, in allegorical ceremonies, during which the nations were advanced from one degree to another in these old societies. Read these old stories for yourself and marvel how men in all ages have taught the same great truths in the same effective way. There you go. Hiram Abiff is Nimrod. And if you don't think that's a big deal, this is Satanism. Satanism is practiced through Nimrod, sun fire worship, okay? I got so much sources on this. I can make these videos hour long, but no one will watch them. So I'm going to keep it short and make more videos. Now, one more thing before I close this video. The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. Page 68. Sufficient similarities exist between the Masonic Charam, which is Hiram Abiff, and the Kundalini of the Hindu mysticism to warrant the assumption that Charam may be considered a symbol also of the spirit fire moving through the sixth ventricle of the spinal column. The exact science of human regeneration is the lost key of Masonry, for when the spirit fire is lifted up through the 33 degrees or segments of the spinal column, chakras, and enters into the dome chamber of the human skull, it finally passes into the pituitary body, Isis, where it invokes Ra, the pineal gland, and demands a sacred name. That's when you're going to get possessed. Operative Masonry, in the fullest meaning of that term, signifies the process by which the eye of Horus is opened, aka the eye of Nimrod. E.A. Wallace Budge was noted that in some of the papyri illustrating the entrance of the souls of the dead into the judgment hall of Osiris, the deceased person has a pine cone attached to the crown of his head. The Greek mystics also carried a symbolic staff, the upper end being in the form of a pine cone, which was called the Thyrsus of Bacchus. There you go, the god of wine and fruit, right? Or something like that. Wine and fertility. In the human brain, there is a tiny gland called the pineal body, which is the sacred eye of the ancients and corresponds to the third eye of the Cyclops. And this is what they call the third eye. Okay, guys? Now, there you go. Do not mess with this Kundalini yoga. I'm going to show you some Kundalini Kriyas, they call them.
And I have talked with many people in yoga. They have made contact with spirit entities that have led them down a horrendous path of evil and destruction. I remember a friend of mine who was one of the leading
Now those are uncontrolled movements. Find her video on YouTube. She's saying these are uncontrolled movements. This is the Kundalini flowing up and down her spinal column. as described in the similarity of Hiram Abiff and Kundalini yoga. Obviously.
Signs of Kundalini that we know of. It seems absolutely identical.
This is a clip from the Kundalini warning video on YouTube.
Now, one of the very clearest
The guy also wrote a book. I'll put a link in the description below.
You see this woman involved in the New Age movement.
Those are Kriya's
walking along exhibiting
uncontrolled movements. They can happen at any time.
Voluntary jerking motions, and the staggering thing about it.
Now I wanted to expose this person on this video here. The video is called Freemasons Coming Against Your Family, Breaking Generational Curses. Right? And this girl made a comment, and we, a bunch of us commented to her and talked to her. She said, my dad is 33rd degree Mason and has put me into some type of program making me a targeted individual. Add me on Facebook, Lori Cross. Now, we're trying to help her, tell her good, trying to give her help. Trying to find her help for Masonic ritual abuse, aka satanic ritual abuse. Now, this woman, I'm assuming it's a woman. Some weird name, this one right here. Seniat Shanifi. You see that symbol? It says love. Probably using the mystery religions from China. But she's totally talking about Kundalini yoga and stuff like that, healing yourself with frequencies and vibrations to align your chakras and all that bullcrap. I was asking her questions, and then I said, and I noticed what she was talking about. It's the same yoga bullshit. Excuse me, yoga crap. And I told her this is Kabbalistic. And then she goes off on me and says, "Bye, demonic troll. I don't argue with clone peasants. Bye-bye. I bet you ain't got ish on your channel either, LOL." And I said, "I will expose you." So I went to her channel, and guess what you see? Nothing but yoga, meditation stuff, third eye, everything I talk against. Look, remove evil eye. She probably wants you to wear the Kabbalah bracelet. Alright? Well, that's how I'm going to end my video. Thanks for watching.